what do you have to sacrifice to get to where you want to go?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got to sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
But hopefully, and I think getting back full circle with everything is, with this year being that year of authenticity, it's like, don't lose yourself. Be real. Be who you are. Be grounded, right? And everything will be okay, right?
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den, an after-hours conversation with two fools in the marketing game. We're talking culture, we're talking trash, and really we're having conversations you probably shouldn't have in a boardroom. Anyway, I'm Chris. This is Ernie. Guys, please remember, share and like and comment and subscribe and do all the fun stuff. We want to blow this thing up. As always, we appreciate the support. So without further ado, pour yourself a glass and let's get into this.
Right, cheers.
Cheers to you, man.
Clean.
Oh, Jesus. What's with your bullshit cup, bro? That's not the classic tumbler. You're off brand.
I wanted some iced tea today. So.
Oh, some Long Island iced tea.
No alcohol for me, unlike you, with all
just
straight vodka.
Liquid meth at this point. That's
straight moonshine.
There's moonshine in it.
White lightning.
That's right. That's
120
right.
proof.
Like, remember that scene? In Cheech and Chong when they're in the courtroom and they're all just blasted on acid, and then he's like, "I need water, man. That fucking vodka, man." Judge is all embarrassed. Dude, every now and again, and it's like fewer and fewer and further between that, like, those that know, you can just kind of scream it into an open bar and somebody's going to chime in. You know what I mean? Like you're a frog in the forest, right? You know what I'm saying? Hear me out. So you're a frog in the forest and you go, ribbit. And then off in the distance, you hear someone chirp back with like, hey, ribbit. You know what I mean?
I guess.
And just like that, if I throw a movie quote out there, a la Goodfellas, a la Spinal Tap's another one, Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. I need to know I'm not alone in the world.
Yeah.
And if I just throw it out there and I'm in like a circle of kind of acquaintances, that's the ultimate test. Because every now and again, like maybe B&I Group, I know those guys pretty well at this point, but every now and again, I'll throw it out there, just like a little test, just like, who's with me?
Yeah.
Who gets this? Right?
Should write a book on it called Ribbit.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. That's not
a bad idea. Who's in the club, man? Who's in the tribe? But yeah, no, but they like, especially after what was his name? Rob Schneider, right? Schneider, is that what I'm talking about? From Meathead, from Archie Bunker.
No,
was recently
Rob Reiner.
Reiner, thank you. I'm thinking of the wrong comedian. Rob Reiner, especially, after that tragedy, like I went back and I was like, God damn, he was good. And we talked about him already. I'm not going to go into it, but in just, hitting those movies and like Spinal Tap and so many others, I'm like, so quotable, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and here's another one. I'm really off on a tangent today. So I was watching this other thing about what it means to be, so there's Gen X, right?
Yeah.
And we know the vibes. And then there's millennial, and we know those vibes, but then there's that odd where we fall, which is that odd in between, right? That gets Zillennial, gets a little asterisk next to the experience. Yeah. And this is the thing that kind of sent it home for me. I literally watched it this morning. For whatever reason, it was on my YouTube algorithm. And it said you had the unique experience of getting your first email address and feeling like it was a portal to the unknown world. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the experience of taking a pencil and the eraser side of a pencil and rewinding your tape. And like, you know what I mean? Because all the tape had popped out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nothing was more poignant. I'm like, oh shit, you're 100% right. Like, weird dynamic, Very.
Do you remember your first email address?
I still have it.
You still have it? What is it?
Yahoo.
Oh,
yeah.
What is it?
I'm not just going to throw it out there.
Say it. Say it. What?
Not like it's that hard to find. I'm not.
No, mine is I don't have it anymore. I think Juno doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know. But mine was
Isn't that a movie? No.
disciple07@juno.com.
Damn.
Yeah, that was I had that for the longest time. And then it's been at least 20 years, I think, since I last opened it. So I don't even think Juno exists.
Does it?
So even if somebody did try to email me,
right, it just goes off.
I don't even know the password. I don't even know.
Into the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, or AOL. AOLs every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the last time. It's so funny to like hear that said now.
Yeah.
That the person who says it to you is they're prepared to get shit for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're like da 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 da. Johnny Q at AOL.com. And you just immediately start, I would. I'm like, oh, AOL. Jesus.
Damn.
What are you doing, bro?
No, I never got into Yahoo email because I think after that, shortly after the university that I went to, they issued all students their university email.
Yeah.
So I went with that for a while. And then, and then I think Gmail started blowing up, and then I just switched to a Gmail account.
Yeah, it took me a long time. It's only because of work. Gmail. But I used Yahoo Finance for like even before I became a financial advisor. Yeah. Probably 6 years ish before that, I started managing, some of the investments and my own investments. And yeah, I just was like the tools that they had on Yahoo Finance, even way back then. Kind of worked. I even used them as a professional. So,
yeah. I mean, I have a Yahoo email address, but it's only because I don't even know what it is. Only because you need to have it in order to play, use their Yahoo fantasy football. Software. Yeah.
But I never did that.
Other than that, and I got a lot of emails because of the shit like that.
Right.
Like Microsoft email because you need it for Microsoft Office stuff. I don't even know anymore. But I miss the AOL days. There's something like you were opening a door into the unknown when you heard you put in the disc, and all of a sudden it's like ding ding, and then it opens up this the whole internet.
Like who's there, right?
Yeah,
like the weird and like age, sex, location, ASL. That was like all this kind of, and it, comparatively Wild West.
Yeah,
right. Because I would have been in high school. And I'm not too worried. I mean, maybe, I don't know, naively so. I'm not too worried about myself. If I was a young lady at that time, it's sketchy. Yeah. Right? It's sketchy now. But back then, it was a Wild West, man. Like, who knew? Yeah. Who knows who's getting into your stuff? Viruses or like.
I just remember trying to do searches and like the algorithms weren't good. So you'd go pages and pages. You'd be on page 15 to find something that you wanted. And that's ultimately how Google became number one, because why do you got to surf through 20 pages to find something you want?
Right. I mean, of course, they gamify that instantaneously, right? Because once you figure that you can be made first in the search, then it's like, oh, well, and then they start actively trying to do that.
Yeah. And
then the politics begin. Right. But anyway, so the experience of that. What else did they say in the video? It was interesting. It was a cool little listen. What it felt like, and it was like a very calm British guy's voice. It felt AI, to be honest with you, but even so, it was like the feeling of waiting, and the feeling of an empty room being like a whole new world as a kid, as opposed to now, like instant gratification and. Yeah. I don't know, man. You go everywhere you go. There's not just a TV, but there's like the internet and all that it has to offer. There's Netflix. And I feel like, do we need all that? I don't know. It's dumb.
Yeah, no,
right. It's killing imagination, at least in my opinion. So anyways, that's my little old man moment for being a zillennial.
I'm more of a Gen X. I identify more with Gen X than being millennial.
It feels. It feels
I like to say I'm part of the Goonies generation.
Well, yeah, technically you are, but I would say by birthday, and your experience, that's I think where we're similar, right? Only a couple years difference, but the advent of the internet access, I think, is the thing that kind of shapes.
6 years difference or 5 years difference?
I'm 45.
Oh, you're 45? I thought you were 43.
No, I appreciate that, buddy. But
I didn't say why I thought you were 43.
the fuck out of here, man. What? So, no, but I do, man, especially if I shave.
Mhm.
God forbid. If we both shave,
We look like
just,
kids.
hey guys, what's going on? You need some marketing help? Okay. As long as I keep my hat on, then they'll be like, oh, this young guy's losing his hair.
Hannah and I were hanging out with some friends over the weekend, and some of them could be my son's age, you know.
Yeah.
And they found out how old we were, especially me, and they're like, "No way!" Like, how are we hanging out?
What are you doing, old man?
Right?
Damn.
But see, that's the trick. I hang out with younger folks. I feel younger.
Dude, there's something to it.
Until they want to do some strenuous activity. Then I'm like,
or some dumb shit too. You know what I mean? You call them out, be like, you dumb motherfucker, we're not driving there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think ahead, damn it. You know.
Well, the funny thing is, usually I could outlast them.
Right.
So if we're out at like drinking or something, they're like, it's midnight. You got to go to bed. It's getting late. I'm like, midnight. The bar's open till 2. And then after that, we're going to go hang out at so-and-so's house till like 4 in.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You fall asleep, I'm going to draw a dick in your face, bro.
Exactly. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So like, dude, you guys are weak.
Yeah.
Weak.
There's something to be said for that. I don't know if that's just, certainly when I was in it, because these days I will freely admit I have no need nor want. Like, I want to go to sleep. I want to get my jammies on. That's how I'm doing my thing, right? But when I was interested in staying out, like, hell yeah, man. We're not until the sun is up.
Right.
How do I even know the night's ended?
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Well, see, that's what's funny, because Hannah and I would go hang out. It'd be like, okay, we got to go. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock. By the time we make it home, which is like usually an hour away,
yeah,
because we live out in the middle of nowhere,
right,
then we're like wide awake. And so we're staying up talking or whatever,
right,
until sun starts coming up around 6:30. We're like, or 7. We're like, all right, we got to go to bed.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah. The identification. Yeah. Gen X. Yeah. Here's a little slight difference in Jersey. Grew up in Jersey and like Ohio. Is out here, I've noticed it isn't this much. It's not like this anymore. But certainly when we were growing up, like Ohio is behind the times as compared to trends, music, just everything going on, right? Haircuts and shit like this. But also in like some of the, just kind of the vibes of it all, like from friends of mine that are more like, say Hannah's age, right? Mid 30s, like friends of mine that are that age out here talk about things from them growing up that remind me of how I grew up. Although there's a 10-year age gap and it's just kind of culturally, it's like, oh, you were still doing that. And some of them are funny because they had the lines in their head, like MC Hammer, but I'm like, I had that when I was a wee little kid, and they had it when they were in high school, Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you guys thought that was cool?
I think nowadays we're not so far behind. If we choose not to dress up or to go into certain trends because we just think it's lame, Well,
I think
we could have, because back then you didn't have access to the clothes. They weren't in the stores yet.
Well, no,
now you could go order online.
The internet made it.
We didn't know what the trends were because we had no internet, nothing to see except for what was on TV
or on display at Macy's or some shit,
For now, I think if we are behind, it's only because we don't want to dress like that.
Like embracing.
Right, we don't want to embrace that.
Yeah, man, and I got to admit, like I enjoy the Midwest vibes as far as like dressing.
Yeah, me too.
This is I've gotten more non-ironic, non-ball busting compliments on this jacket. You know what I mean? Right? Like dudes genuinely like, this is a nice jacket. It looks warm, hardy. You know what I mean? Like real men compliments.
Yeah.
You can stash a piece. You're not wearing a piece.
You don't see many people wearing a jacket like that.
I saw. Oh, where was I, man? Just last week. Just last week, networking. Oh, yeah? Somebody. It was Joe. That's who it was. When we met the team for Mexican food. He had a fucking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what it was. Because I remember as he stood up and threw it on, I was like, almost had a tear. I was like, oh, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think he's more of a
felt-
hip hop head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he felt a little bit more credibility.
Yeah, man.
Like
you
he
know,
felt,
a little kinship.
yeah.
Like, all right,
He legitimized your style.
Because I'm going to wear it anyway.
And he's like much younger than us.
Is he? I don't
think
know.
so.
I think he gives me younger vibes.
30s,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I know he's a big hip hop head. So I just like the fact that like, it's always a good idea.
Yeah,
it's warm. I just wish the button stayed button. Makes me feel fat because then I'll like button it up.
It just pops off.
It just blows up.
Dude, it's so huge. It's just.
That's what I'm saying, dude. See that? I'm 43. I'm huge as fuck. Not to be messed with. So yeah, those trends. So yeah, man, it's kind of it's interesting to get served. I don't know what you can call it inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was like a jump off on self-reflection. That video I'm talking about was like a zillennial thing. But it's interesting, like, unless you had, say back in the day, unless you had like a self-help tape, a book on tape, or I don't even know, man, a movie, I suppose, that really moves you or something like that. Like those kinds of things, like the days of the TED Talks and, the shit that we're exposed to now didn't exist back in the day.
No.
Like there were precious gems where you're like, dude, I heard this guy.
Yeah.
And he was, you call it preaching, but he was sharing this wisdom and like, damn, it just felt more, I don't know, man, mythical almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's on tap, man. On YouTube,
learn anything. Yeah. I remember like I taught myself how to do some dance moves when I was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't teach myself because I went to the library and rented out of a VHS tape. I'm like, rewind, play. I'm like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
But now you can just go online and you see all sorts of tutorials about anything you want to do.
About anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Is that reminds me the VHS is so like Pride. I think it was Pride or Shuto. I think it was Pride. Where Bas Rutten was wearing his shin guard. So they would do these leg locks in that style of combat sport, right? And so then there's guys that are now roughly about our age, possibly just a touch older, that were like fighting in the UFC, the legends of the game. And they were talking about like, when they were in college or high school or whatever, they would get those tapes of like Bas Rutten and Don Fry, those guys. And they would have, how are you going to know? Right? You're in Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody doing that shit. Not even close. Because they were all, animals, right? They weren't like college educated fighter types, D1 wrestlers. No, they were savages, bro.
Yeah.
Don Fry was the wrong motherfucker, right? So anyway, how did you find it out? Well, you got yourself a tape.
Yeah.
And just, looks like he does this. And you usually, you fucked up your friend's ankle for a week, but you learned the heel hook, Yeah, and what's interesting about that relative to music is when you do that, you're really just imitating. But then you come up with your own authentic kind of unique style.
Yeah.
Right. I can't tell you how many times I've heard Stevie Ray Vaughan, in fact, one of the legends. He breaks down how there's a particular lick, some classic blues, everybody's played it. And he's like, I do it this way. And it's amazing. Clapton does it this way. He like changes the volume, adjusts the pickups, changes the tone, where he plays it sounds exactly like Clapton, right? And then whoever else, B.B. King or whoever else, and he like demonstrated like he did it like this, I do it like that, I do it like that. Blah, blah, blah. But and then the thing was that like he wasn't sad about it, it was matter of fact, like that's their style, and like and then I'm going off on a tangent, but I think of like we've said before, 2026 like the year of authenticity, right?
Yep.
And when Stevie Ray Vaughan acknowledges he might have stole the lick, whatever that means really, but then he kind of adopted it and made it his own.
Yeah.
The way he owns it, like the authenticity, like, no, that's how I do it. Right? Like kind of plant your flag.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that makes him so fucking legendary, like the ownership of it.
Yeah.
and that it's take it or leave it, man. This is how I do my
That's
thing.
how I do it.
Because
Yeah.
I've heard plenty of cats that I know that are like, that's a white guy blues kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It feels forced.
Yeah.
Is it though? I mean, isn't that authentically how that dude just interprets it? Like,
Yeah.
who are you to say it's not authentic? You know what I mean?
Well, it depends what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is it authentic blues? No.
I mean,
maybe
no,
not.
I don't
Is
know.
it authentically him? Yes.
That's true.
So it's how what's your starting point of authenticity,
Yeah. That's a fair point.
right?
Yeah.
Like you could make a bourbon here and say, oh, this is authentic bourbon that I just made. And then others will say, well, absolutely not, because you didn't do, Kentucky bourbon is the authentic bourbon,
Yeah. Yeah. There's that.
right?
Yeah, there is that. And then subsequently, if you change something too much,
Mm-hmm.
it's like just like around here, for example,
Yeah.
where people call something pizza. And I'm like, this is not fit for, don't serve it to pigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is gross. If you change it too much, it's no longer the thing.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of see what you mean.
It depends. Like if you're saying authentic based off of what? What's the starting point?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. Does that mean that the blues is exclusively for like, I don't know, black folks in 19X to 19Y Mississippi?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the blues. Like that's a form of the blues.
Yeah.
Right. But I'll be goddamn if anybody's going to tell me that Stevie Ray Vaughan can't play the fucking blues.
Mm-hmm.
That dude can play his ass off. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. But that's interesting. Yeah. What is authentic?
Now, authenticity as far as individuality, like you be authentically you.
Right.
Unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Now, that gets really complicated, right? Because how I dress right now isn't necessarily how I'm going to dress in a boardroom.
Right.
Are you not being authentic anymore? Some people say, no, you're not.
Right.
Where it all depends on, well, I'm trying to be authentically CEO-like in a boardroom.
Right. Right. You got to be taken seriously.
Right.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah. And other people say, I don't give a shit. I am who I am.
Right.
You don't like it, then fuck off.
Right.
And it works for some people.
If you're
I think though that authenticity without credibility is not necessarily.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's useless.
Yeah.
Like I could play let's say I play blues, I do something, and you can say, well, that's not authentic. I'm like, oh, this is me. But in reality, it really isn't blues because I don't know how to play blues.
Right.
It's blues to me.
Right.
Well, wait a second. You have no credibility. It doesn't follow any of the parameters.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not blues. Sorry.
Yeah. There's something. Yes. It's like you can have your own style of the blues.
Uh-huh.
Right. And we're saying the blues. Obviously, it's for anything.
For anything.
Your style
just
is
using
tomato sauce. Right.
Well, that's why that's why I've always been a fan of the trivium way of learning.
Yeah.
And I think I've said this to you before, but it's the trivium way of learning is kind of like classical learning. It's like how the founding fathers learned.
Okay.
And the way that it works is trivium. It's three. Okay. You first have to learn the grammar of whatever it is you're learning. Learn how to paint. You got to learn this is a paintbrush. Yeah. This is called watercolors. This is for blah blah blah.
Yeah. Like
you got to learn the grammar. And then you got to learn the let's see here, the logic.
Yeah.
Right. And from there, you're learning how to use the paintbrush and what paintbrush is for what. And you're imitating even. Okay, here, paint this scene or whatever. You're imitating things. And then once you get to the point where the next progress from there is now you're actually using what you learned.
Yeah.
And now you could argue and you could rationale and you could create your own stuff. Some people are naturally gifted and they can somehow skip from grammar to boom. Whoa, that's like genius.
Yeah.
Like how'd you do that?
Yeah.
But majority of people, you have to go through this process, and some people just stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like now, if I were to say, hey, paint this unique thing, I couldn't do it.
Right.
Because as much as I used to be a painter when I grew up and I was in art and all that stuff and I was good at it, because I stopped, I don't know how to do a lot of the things anymore, right?
Yeah.
If I would have continued by now, I would be able to paint my own masterpieces,
Right.
that is unique to me, is authentic to me, right? And so what I'm saying is like authenticity without having the foundations, you might lack some of the credibility because you aren't paying tribute to some of the things before you, unless you're just genius, right?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it's genius is rare.
Yeah.
Right. Genius is rare.
Like that one guy I was showing on YouTube. What's his name? Justin Collier or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he was saying that he's not a genius, but like a lot of very esteemed artists are like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
You know exactly that, when you hear his pieces, that's him because you could hear things that he's doing that nobody does.
Right.
And it's unique to just him. And he's so young. Yeah. Right. And so.
Yeah. To have accelerated, that's one sign, right? Mm-hmm. Even, I always go back to music. That's what I know. But like, even when you think of these great guitar players, mm-hmm. right? Steve Ray Vaughan's one, mm-hmm. and his brother Jimmy's a fucking monster on the guitar, man. Like, mm-hmm. wow, right? But the acceleration part, right? It I think from our perspective, and I'm just bro science as usual, but the acceleration appears as though there's no gap, mm-hmm. right? Like you said, this trivium I did, this 3 thing. Yeah. And in school I learned it was something to the effect of like imitation, repetition, innovation, I think was the mm-hmm. way that it was said. And it's just like you're saying, right? It's like mm-hmm. you learn these fundamentals, you learn to imitate in a respectful way those forefathers of the craft, so that you can say paint in the style of Picasso's mm-hmm. Blue Era and so forth, or whatever that looks like. And then eventually you're going to start making connections that nobody else has made before, mm-hmm. and thereby is your innovation, right? So it's fascinating to see that sometimes that gap, the in-between of picking up the paintbrush, the guitar pick, or mm-hmm. whatever, mm-hmm. to innovating is almost, paper thin for some people.
For some people.
Where it looks like magic to the rest of us. Yeah. But it's just that their acceleration through the process was unlike anything. Right.
Like I would say for me, I'm an expert at getting to logic and everything. Like I love learning about everything. Like before it used to be VHS tapes. Yeah. Now it's like I have YouTube. Oh, it's unending. I'm learning now. My recent thing is learning crumping and learning about F1, formula racing. Right. And but now the information is right at my fingertips, so I can learn it pretty quickly. And I'm all right with this. But where I usually stop is at the second step of that learning cycle. Yeah. Because to move beyond that, you have to have a innate passion or obsession to want to move beyond. And so that's why, I love everything from cooking to playing chess. I played chess tournaments. I played table tennis tournaments. I played, I did, swing dancing and ballroom dancing, tap dancing, you name it. Because I just want to consume. Am I expert at any of that? No, but I could talk about it, and I'm genuinely interested in it. Right. I would say that's why I would, I fall into that. Was it master of none? Yeah. How's that saying go? Right. Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. Where I would say the one thing I that comes naturally to me is marketing. And that's why I fell into it. Like I get it. I'm able to progress. I'm always interested in it, and I always, grow in that area. I've never stopped in marketing.
That's an interesting idea, man. And if I were, nobody gives a shit, by the way, to ask me my opinion on this, right? I'm no master of guitar playing, just a student by all definitions. And if I were to define it, from what I know about music, I would say that my job as a musician is at almost any level mm-hmm. is to like get what's in here out to here mm-hmm. without as little bullshit in the way. Mm-hmm. Right. So it says what I think Leonard Bernstein called inevitable music, mm-hmm. right? Inevitability. There's no other way that could have been made. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm in the business of, when I'm being creative, I'm in the business of manifesting the idea as unencumbered as possible into reality. I would, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it in the moment, I almost put that as, that is the very essence of what it means to be creative, right? Like, you've got it in here. I'm going to get it out here.
So are you able to do that with guitar playing?
I'm at my best moments, which have a varied frequency. It's like, how much am I playing? What am I listening to? How do I feel? You know, am I happy? Right. When all is humming, I've only had a moment or two, you know, a dozen times in my whole life I'm playing, where I genuinely feel like either did I write that kind of moment where it's like, no, I feel like a channel, right? From this flow of magical energy, and it just, blah, right, manifests, right? And so I have done that live and playing and recording and be like, whoa, right. So, okay, so there's the flow state. And then after the fact, maybe when I've heard something I've written, where I'm like genuinely surprised, like,
Yeah. Well,
that sounds like music.
I wouldn't discount yourself though, because like I think you have achieved a status of musician. Now there's degrees of that, right?
So many,
master musician,
like black belts in jiu-jitsu. Right. It's like, look, you might have one, but you're not going to never ever be this motherfucker. And
how many degrees of black belts are there, right?
So many.
It's so many, right? But are you a genuine? You know, can you be a genuine black belt? Sure, yes. But it's never ending. And then perhaps the guys who are way up there, they're inventing new moves. I don't know. You know, like
that's exactly
channel.
Yeah,
but they're black.
Exactly
there are black belt jiu-jitsu guys. It's funny because I was watching that movie. I was talking to you about offline about there's a F1 race, F1 movie with Brad Pitt,
right? And
he talks about how he's chasing kind of what you said, the flow. Or that feeling of flying. And there's and spoiler alert, it was particularly for you if you watch it.
I will watch it. Okay.
But there is in the final race,
right,
when he wins, he's flying. He's cruising super fast. And the guys are like, his crew, they're like, what's he doing? Like, what's going on? You know, he's not answering, nothing.
Right.
And the one person who's on the comms, she just responds, he's flying. Like he's completely zoned and everything's working.
See it all.
And you can see it. It's almost like the Matrix. Like he's just flying, and he just chases that feeling of flying. Right now, that's cool. Does even every master musician, master F1 racer, master fill in a blank, do they achieve that flow state, that flying state all the time? Probably not.
Not all the time.
It all has to come together at the right time, but you're chasing it, right? That's why I would say, like, for you, musician, yes.
Yeah.
Have you achieved that flow state? Yes. Once in a blue moon.
Just the bluest of moons. Right.
As you continue to increase in that musicianship degrees, you will be able to hone in that flow state even more and more and more and more. That's how I see it. And then it becomes yours. And then it becomes, oh, I could hear Chris's style.
Right.
Because now, he gets in this state and that's him.
Man. Yeah. And the channeling of that, how close Chris Robinson and his brother from the Black Roses, they described it in just that way, where they're like, there's like this river of something flowing above them, right? And it's almost like in pursuit of mastering the craft, and so like there's a technical aspect of that and kind of a spiritual, I don't know, other element to that, right? So it's like you're mastering it, but you're understanding self, and your placement in that kind of a thing. And so they meet and you hit a flow state, right? But it seems like those who are great among us they like live right next door because they've put in the work, right? They've got just kind of this absurd confidence, and maybe there's even the prime too, right? Because that's a consideration. Like when you think about, maybe not quite so much in music, but most certainly in athletics of all kinds. We were just talking about that last night. Like, what is a sport, right? And some people bullshit on, like, you know, whether it's driving or whatever kind of sport. They're like, not really a sport. It's like, no, man. Look, if there's a chess master, there's a Russian master. I can't remember the guy's name, but like the motherfucker of them all, right? A Russian guy who's alive now, maybe, right? But I know he's alive now, and he's not quite that old. But he said, "No, dude, if you put me in a match against a killer right now, I'm going to lose that match. Like, I can't think that fast anymore." And until he said that, intellectually, I understand that we kind of slow down, but it never really hit me that in that world, not only do you have a race in acquiring technical skills to kind of just compete, just step on the runway and not get killed, but also you're going to put your own personal brand and stamp, and this is how I do it, right? And I, by the way, love the shit out of this game, right? And so their personality is going to make them Mike Tyson, for example. Dude, he watched every fucking piece of film there was. Sure, he had one of the greatest coaches ever. Right? One of the greatest coaches ever. And many would say that. But one of the greatest coaches also had a fucking library in the day when there wasn't the internet. And this young kid with no friends, no family, nobody. It was like, all right, boss, I'm just going to sit here and watch every film ever. Right. And that accelerated his getting closer and closer and closer.
That's what I'm saying. That trivium. So he saw the other masters do it. That's the logic part. Right. He's learning and seeing all, okay. Yeah. And then as he's practicing and, you know, sweating and working his ass off, he starts to reach this rhetoric stage where now it's like, I know what my strengths. I know how to maximize my strengths using everything that I've learned. Right. Yeah. I mean, did I ever tell you my story about getting out of chess? Like, so I used to compete in chess, and
where is this gonna go? All right, go
and I went to this tournament. I want to say it was like somewhere in like Parma, Ohio, whatever.
Okay. How old are you, by the way, at this time?
I was probably 20.
20. Okay. A grown person. All right. Got it.
So I was like 20.
Right.
And so it was like college break. I'm like, oh, cool. There's a tournament. I'll go and enter that. Yeah. And so I went in, and my first competitor was this little Indian kid who must have been like second grade.
Sure.
Right. He has to like sit on books to see the table.
They're probably his books in physics.
Right. And so, so it's kind of like, have you watched that Searching for Bobby Fischer?
No, I never saw
that's another
good clips. Yeah.
Well, anyways, so he sets his little books. He sits up there and he beats me like 5 moves. Like it just
beats the dog shit out
of it. And he goes, you know, he basically, you know, shake hands is the right thing to do. And he goes, you know, just keep practicing. You'll get better. And I'm like, everything in me wanted to tell him, you know what, you're never gonna get laid. You little piece of shit. Motherfucker will never get laid.
Kick over his books.
What do you sit there? Like, you sit there, you just fucking read chess books all day long? You're like, you nerd, you fucking loser. Like, I wanted his laying him so bad.
Bro.
Instead, I just like, that was it. I just left. I didn't even go into sub brackets. I'm just like, I'm out of here. And that was it.
There is much funny to bring from that moment.
I rolled up my chest mat, went home.
That was it.
Tail between my legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way.
No way you're ever going to beat that.
There's no way. And I know because, you know, I just say, hey, how'd you get so good? And, you know, because I didn't say those things. I was actually trying to nice. He's like, oh, every morning, the first thing in the morning, my dad makes me practice and memorize moves every morning. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's why. I'm never going to.
You see the fucking belt marks.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
You know what I mean?
I'm never going to learn this shit.
Yeah.
You know? And so I just stopped. Yeah. But, you know, there's probably a few things I could say, a couple of things I could say I ever achieved, like flow state, where and why I love it. And it's in marketing. Yeah. Where everything makes sense when I'm creating the plans. But the flow state comes from me is when I'm presenting. When I'm presenting the plan or presenting
I've seen,
or I'm pitching, and I just get really passionate. Boom, boom, this is what we need to do. And this is why, and this is the rationale. And like and then afterwards, like the client really like, wow, okay, like, appreciating what I've done, and they can see like, okay, this is good. This is very good. Thank you so much. Right. Like that's when I walk away. I'm like, yeah, I fucking killed it.
I would put that a little bit higher. Right. I think that as is typical, right. And I've like witnessed this, right. As is typical, there's a, let's just say that we're maybe in the business of problem solving.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a lot of it. So then, okay, here's a problem, here's a challenge. We're going to have to do it this way, and so forth and so on. Right. And so if they're, I don't know, content by it, you know, they feel safe, they feel secure.
Yeah.
This guy's, he knows what he's doing. Cool. Let's invest this money and off we go. Right. And that's kind of the entry level of the pitch, the sell, the delivery, the explanation, and the buy-in. And we're just, everything's fine and we feel confident it's going to work. The difference, though, is occasionally, and I don't even know how many times out of the bunch, but occasionally is the further hypnosis of it.
Yes.
Like the further
there's a hypnosis part to it.
Yeah. Like, dude, now you're not just delivering technical execution that has verifiable ROI or whatever. Right now we're delivering inspiration. Now we're rekindling the fire that you, sir, as a business owner lacked when you walked in. That shit is like, now you're taking them to church.
Yeah, right.
That's
when I walk away. I'm like, oh, I had them in the palm of my hands.
Yeah,
it was perfect. The only other times, like speaking, there's especially pre 2016 when I was speaking a lot. Like there were times where I remember a couple times where like big audience and I was just killing it, getting them laughing, bringing out illustrations, like everything was flowing. I didn't stutter. I didn't. And I walked off the stage like, like it just felt so good. And like everybody, people are like, thanks. And you know, that was awesome, whatever. Like those are only two, I guess, of my expertise where I seek for that flow state. You know, well, the other thing is sex. You know, I just hit that flow state. Boom,
just killing it.
Kill it.
Plaster falling off the walls. Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like sounds, you know, bouncing off the wall. Like yeah.
You don't care about your Dodge card at all.
No.
Like,
don't care about the cramps. Nothing. It's just like
you don't care about it. The hammy goes out.
No,
keep going.
Just the flow state.
I soldier on. That's so funny.
That's it. Those three things. That's it.
Basically. So all right, hold on. So let me throw a little different authenticity, right? Because I like the idea. And I like how when I'm trying to think of this, when you mean it, you can have all the technical ability, right? And I've seen, again, guitar players. That's the only thing I really know. But I've seen those guitar players with my own eyeballs and have been fucking floored. Half my age, most of my life, by the way, I've seen 10-year-olds just like you. You know, you're just like, Jesus, kid, how'd you do that?
I'm glad you continue that. I've seen 10-year-olds like you.
Like you. Like the little Indian boy that beat the shit out of you.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
No, that you're a little anyway. So, but yeah, you know, just like your experience, you're like, kid, you are gonna always beat the shit out of me. You know? Well, all right. Good luck. Right. So yeah, but I've seen that. But then I've seen really talented, like, I don't know what the word is, people who can execute well, you know, like technicians, right? But they're soulless. You know what I mean? And they're so uninspired. They're boring to listen to. What's the difference though? Right? Because I can
feel it.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
You can see it.
There's no soul beam. You know, like they don't.
It's the X factor. That's what they, you know, entertain. Like we're missing the X factor. Right.
And it's so weird. It almost seems more of a, if that soul beam, like when they're playing and it just feels like they're hitting you with energy or something. I don't know what that is. But when they have so much technical skill and the lack of soul, it almost like feels like the reverse, you know? It's like you're pulling time. Like, I want those 5 minutes back, man. You know?
It's interesting. Like, it reminded me, Ken and I tried to watch the, you know, one of those America's Got Talent shows. I can't remember which one specifically, but it's it's a new remake of an old talent show, and one of the judges is Jelly Roll.
Okay.
And we tried to watch the first episode. I couldn't get through the first episode because you'd have a couple singers. There were a couple singers that would go up, and they were good. Technically, they're good. And then here comes Jelly Roll. He's like, "Oh, you killed it!" And I do like Jelly Roll. I love his story and everything. He's like, "Oh, you killed it! I give you a 5 out of 5 stars." And I'm like, 5 out of 5 stars. And then the next one comes, you killed it. I give you 5 out of 5 stars. I'm like, okay, do you know that like each star should represent some sort of level of at 5?
Right.
That should be like,
wow. We just found the next Whitney Houston.
Right, exactly.
Right.
The X Factor. And I remember telling Hannah, I'm like, okay, they were good, yes. And they were entertaining, yes. But I didn't see like it. I didn't see like star. That's a star. Yeah. And so I'm like, I can't watch this and keep like, looking at Jelly Roll. This is fun. In reality, Jelly Roll is just a nice guy. So, hey, good job, kid.
Way to get up there.
That's awesome. That took a lot of courage, and you killed it. And the way you said 5 out of 5, I'm like, if this guy is always going to give, and the judge is always going to give 5 out of 5 stars, then that means they're easy to impress. I like the Simon Cowell dude or whatever that dude is in American Idol. Yeah. Where he was a dick. He's like, it didn't really do anything for me. I'm like, thank you, because it didn't do anything for me either.
Right.
Like, just because you know how to sing and it's a great voice doesn't mean you have what Whitney Houston had. Right. Doesn't mean you have what Celine Dion has. Yeah. Michael Bublé or some of these greats were like, they just have that it factor, right?
Yeah, man. Like, that's a very, the intangible part is how many bells you ring. Mm-hmm. In other words, the people are the bells. Yeah. Right? So like the frequency that you're giving off, which is, I don't even know. I don't know what that is, man. Yeah. Like if you ever wanted to make a case to me about supernatural goings on of any kind, right? The one thing I've ever experienced is being on a stage or being in the crowd and having that exchange to where you just feel like connected. Yeah. Right? Like we're all hitting the same frequency. And you almost picture like, the light spreads from the entertainer into the crowd and then points straight into the sky. Yeah. Right. Like this laser beam to the heavens.
Energy. Right. Yeah. Now, I think it's important because we're talking about authenticity. I don't think that authenticity is related to the X Factor. There's two different things. Yeah. You could be authentically bad, but you're authentic.
Well, that's true.
You're authentic.
That is all that has its place in two ways, right? If there's a guy named Joey Bro. Did I ever send you his videos?
Probably not.
Bro. Yeah. Let me tell you. Shannon's endlessly entertained. It is just
Joey Bro?
Yeah. Okay. And it's spelled kind of weird. It's like, anyways. So older guy, and he's making money. He's getting his bag. God bless you, Joey, if you ever see this. No hating on you. But he might be the worst karaoke singer. And by the way, for the sake of your people, bro, you know what I mean? People. If I was over there in the motherland, the Philippines, I know that's a karaoke place, man. Like he's just offending the whole country, right? He is so bad. He is so bad at singing and everything. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But he has an abundance of confidence. Yeah. And he just is in his four walls. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about him. Yeah. And dancing, and God damn it, if he doesn't believe that he is God's gift to that microphone and your eyeballs. Yeah. And he's authentic, right? He is.
And he probably has like 2 million followers.
At least. Right. At least. Like I said, he's getting his bag. And there are just something about the authenticity, but the abject lack of technical skill is an embarrassment to anybody else. Right. But for some dumb reason, I just get a kick out of it. Yeah. Right. So there's that weird thing too. Right. Along the lines of that, I think of like other authentic but like technically bad, right? I know in music, it's easy to point out. Like I would say a great songwriter is Lou Reed, but technically speaking, not a singer, all right, guitar player, right? But Jesus Christ, what he had to say, and the words he used, and then his character, right? Like it wasn't even a character.
Yeah.
Like if he was in an elevator in Tucson, Arizona, you're getting the same Lou you get on stage, you know?
Yeah.
That made him so fucking authentic and so rock and roll.
Yeah.
Ozzy, so authentic.
So
rock and roll.
Dennis Rodman, basketball. He was an ugly looking basketball player, technically style wise. Right. But man, he knew what he was good at.
Couldn't make a shot.
But he knew what he was good at.
Right.
You know, he could rebound that ball.
And everybody else knew, right? We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Like Jordan himself interviewed, like, would you trade it in? And, you know, what do you think about Robin? Bro, did you see him get the rebound?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times he helped me, and this is Jordan talking, helped me and Scotty and everybody else get the rock so we can make the shot?
Yeah.
He made me look good.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and that he had the respect from his team, the credibility to do his job.
Yeah.
Right. He said he would tell anybody, like, I can't make a fucking shot to save my life. Right. But it's interesting to see how he found his place in the team.
What's some other authentic type?
Authenticity as it relates to, say, maybe motivation is when we see those are maybe even reserved for not the player themselves per se. Like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, like, a Jordan's going to go out there and he's going to put up 30 points, whatever, 40 points, whatever numbers, right, on average, because of his technical capabilities and his passion and his drive and his all that.
Yeah.
But maybe you have, like, what would be considered a B player in whatever sport. But they have their one or two moments in a career, right? And because they were maybe the heart of the team. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, like a big guy play, you know what I mean? Like some lineman who's like 400 pounds. He's not caught a ball since high school. Yeah. And then for whatever reason, he's open, you know, or he just picked up a fumble and he's fucking hauling ass. Yeah. And you know, his body's giving out as he's like running down, his ham's giving out, you know, and there's like 4 dudes jumping on his back, but like through sheer authentic, I care. Yeah. You know, like, I love this fucking team. Yeah. You know, my quarterback has been like a source of inspiration, right? And, like, he is not going to be stopped. Yeah. And so that's like his one glorious play, you know? So moments like that can be that they care so deeply, you know, and they're authentic and they wear their heart on their sleeve. Yeah. I got another one, old boy with the gold, Jack Hughes, right? Authentic. He's authentic. He wasn't looking for the PC.
And he was a great face of that American type underdog story, because people thought, you know, Canadians would win that. You know, they're the better team. Like, right? And yet here's this guy, he's putting his whole heart and soul, tooth missing, blood gushing.
Yeah, 2 teeth. Took the high stick. Yep. You could see the angle cut into his top tooth and the bottom tooth. Yep. They're both gone.
And yet he's just like, for the love of the game and the passion for my country, dude, you know, he's like, what did he say? Like, USA is like the best country, or is such a great country. Right. And it's good that we have good dentists.
Yeah. 100%.
Come on. That's a perfect icon for USA, you know, authentic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And consequences, you know, we don't have to go there, but we all know what it is in America right now and has been for a hot minute to be in America. And God forbid you say, like, I dig living here. Yeah. Right. It's such a pain in the balls to just say, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool here. Yeah. I'm having a good time. Yeah. Right. And for him to, in that moment, you know, all that stuff be damned. It's like, dude, this is a fucking cool country. You think
President Trump, he's authentic. Love him or hate him. That's right.
That's right.
Love him or hate him. Yeah. He's authentic. He's not going to try to be something that anybody of us wants him to be. Right. He was like this before he became president. He was like this when he became president. He was like this after he was no longer president, and he's still like this. Right. He is authentic. You know exactly what you're going to get. Yeah. You know, he can be a dick. Right. Right. Love him or hate him, but that's him. This is authentic as possible. Right?
The interesting thing we were talking about before is that Americans don't do their homework. Yeah. Right. And when we all think of, I mean, shit, even if somebody's like the first George Bush.
Mhm.
You know, like ask somebody about details about that dude.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't fight. I think he threw up on somebody's lap. You know what I mean? That's all you got.
Yeah.
So, anyways, when you think about presidents who were kind of keeping it real,
Mhm.
some of the greats were also some of the most hated.
Yeah.
Right. This ain't to throw Trump into any kind of bucket of greatness. I'm just saying that more the authenticity part of it.
Yeah.
And that if you actually do have some conviction, for better or worse, people are going to follow you. Right.
We're going to follow you,
Yeah.
and people are going to throw stones at you.
And yes, they're going to they're going to be big support or big hate either way. Right. I think that the worst thing you could do in politics, as I've witnessed, big and small, is be indifferent.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Carter's and Biden's, because it was more of a like a non-event.
Yeah.
You know, you almost want to push them out of the way. All right, can we have somebody for real come in, please, and do something?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Be hot or cold.
Do something.
Be something.
Yeah.
Don't be lukewarm. Don't be right down the middle. Right.
And that almost is the
is your goal to try to get everybody to like you?
Because it's never going to work.
Right. And that's in anything. That's not just, that's in even leadership, in businesses or organizations, nonprofits, or, you know, what's the goal? Is your goal to get everybody to like you, or is the goal to victory? Right.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes, and you'll see even like, I remember hearing the old Dallas Cowboys coach. He said that like he went through a divorce and everything, but he won like several Super Bowls. And he said, in order to achieve this greatness, sometimes you have to sacrifice, you know, like, And unfortunately it was his family.
That's,
and he was willing to sacrifice that.
That is that old Bukowski poem, Go All the Way. I don't know if that's the actual title of it, but that's the main theme, the main line. It says, you may risk losing wives, losing girlfriends. You could risk jail. You could freeze to death on a park bench. Derision, mockery, isolation. Yep. Isolation is the gift. But it goes on, go all the way.
See, for me as a business owner, I'm not willing to go all the way.
Yeah.
But I'm also not willing to I'm not trying to reinvent marketing and be this great and the best, biggest agency. I'm not trying to do that.
Tip of the spear, the Elon Musk.
Because I know in order for me to do that, yes, I have to sacrifice everything in order to do that. I'm not willing to do that because that's not my end game in life. Yeah. Do I want to make sure that people within the agency are taken care of? Do we want to grow and hit some goals so that we can enjoy life? Yes. But I wouldn't say that's like achieving greatness. Right. Greatness comes at a cost.
Yeah. That's an interesting way to put it, man. The personal cost when you see like true greatness, the very top of the heap, there is always bodies left.
There's always bodies left.
There's always bodies.
Steve Jobs, bodies left. Whew. You know, a lot of people hated that guy.
A lot.
You know, now he's dead. People praise him and all that stuff, and even when he was alive, there were a lot of people who hated his guts for the way he acted. Yeah. But he understood, if I want to achieve this greatness, I need to. Sorry, you're fired. Move on. Right. So again, he was being authentically him too, but part of his authenticity meant greatness, and part of greatness means sacrifice.
Serious sacrifice.
Right? You got to be who who you are. I even talk about like with Hannah, and like she has a great business model with Barker's Barbershop for Dogs, and I always told her from the beginning,
smooth fucking plug in there, buddy.
I always told her, like, if you want to grow this thing and become like rich, we could do it. Right. But there's going to be a sacrifice. Yeah. You know, how far are you willing to go? Right. And she's happy and content with where she's at now. I'm like, that's perfectly all right.
All good.
Because if you want to go franchise and we want to franchise this model throughout the country, we can do it. Right. But it's for the next 10, 15 years, all we're doing is busting, our balls or whatever, just going, going crazy, 150 miles an hour all the time. Yeah. You know, some people are cut off for it. Some people aren't cut off for it. Some people choose not to do it because what their values are. You have to be authentic to what an
element of authenticity. If if you lack this element would be a downfall is self-awareness. And when real super ridiculous winners, when you boil them down, you kind of expose that, yeah, I was willing to sacrifice my girlfriend, my wife, my kids, my this, my that, my that, you know, I was willing to do. And the willing to do list is like, fucking endless.
It's endless. That's the
it's
thing.
Almost
it's endless.
Proportionate to if it's about the money or whatever, you know, it's the you're willing to do list. If it's 1,000 pages long, equals that many more zeros in your bank account. Right. However, though, the damage that it can potentially do, the willing to, is eventually going to start impacting not only the people directly around you, but like the community around you. You know what I mean? Like, and then if the willing to do starts spilling over to the unethical, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm willing to poison a town of people with my broken train somewhere in Ohio, you motherfuckers. So, you know, it's like, well, what are you willing to do? And is the world going to tolerate it? Because at some point you're going to piss the wrong person off and they're going to come shoot you, you know? So, but the willingness, and the self-awareness is where I was going. The self-awareness requires reflection, requires grounding, right? How many great people hit the pinnacle and it's like they're, you know, like they built a mountain or something, or they built a spire that's literally big enough for one of their feet to stand on. Man, a stiff breeze comes along, knocks you right the fuck off, right? And there's nobody, by the way, there's nobody around you to catch you, right? So it's, you know, in that analogy, it's like, dude, you got to build a spire kind of big enough that accommodates the people that really give a shit. That if this whole pile of bricks that you've accumulated and all this fame and all the fortune, all the success should fall apart tomorrow, this same group of motherfuckers that was in it from day one, right, that really did keep it real, they're still going to be right there, busting your balls, right? Like, I ain't so rich now, are you, motherfucker? Here, let's split this sandwich. It'll be all right. You know, that's, you need that too. Right.
It's interesting. I probably should end here, but I been listening to a lot of Neil Diamond stuff, just nostalgic.
Right turn. Okay.
Right. But he has a song. But he has a song about you know, I live in LA. My home is New York. But LA isn't my home, and New York is not mine anymore. I live between two shores. And he goes, you know, I cried, I am, said I, but nobody hears it, not even the chair. And he talks about how, you know, the story of the frog who wants to be king and he became one. That if you ask that of me, that is my story. You know, and basically saying, it's lonely. Lonely. You know, you achieve this greatness, and nobody hears my loneliness. Not even the chair. You know, you have to give up so much to achieve that greatness, right? And I've been singing that, and I've been listening to that because it's like, you know, what do you have to sacrifice to get to where you want to go? Unfortunately, you got to sacrifice everything. You know, but hopefully, and I think getting back full circle with everything is, with this year being that year of authenticity, it's like, don't lose yourself. Be real. Be who you are. Be grounded, right? And you know, everything will be okay, right? Yeah, exactly, right. If you can, you know, risk all your winnings on a game of pitch and toss. In other words, take the chances you want to take, but then, as the poem goes, I think it's called "If," and then start over. Right? Should you lose, like you've got to be surrounded by that same environment, man. Right? Like, be okay with the sacrifices you made, because I don't know, man. Nothing's guaranteed. That's a big place to land, man. All right. Well, once again, I don't know what we solved, but it was a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, from the iconic era of advertising to the digital age, I'm Chris. And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.